Oh, I thought I no. Hello, hello, hello. This is Tisha McDonald.
This is Tanika Gillard. I am naturally yours, Nikki.
Nikki, how was your
Y'all are
day?
watching the twin.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are
y'all are
watching the
watching the
twitness.
twinness. My day was good, T. Just a little. Well, today is my Friday. Hallelujah. That's all I got to say on that. I like my Wednesdays because and I'm happy. It was an easy day. I had a session this morning, like a required class, so that took up half the day, and the other half of the day was just light paperwork. So it was a good day overall. Next week I shouldn't have too much work because I got a lot of my work done this week. So it was a good day overall, but traffic coming home was a mess. And it gets dark early. We're kind of nervous down here because y'all are sending snow and bad cold this way. So,
I'm
that's
sorry.
what we're looking out for.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that Delaware was going to get it so bad.
Everybody's
So,
like, we hope it snows here in Alabama so that they can stay home and just eat, 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 eat. There's like, I'm full. My fridge is full. We ready. They could have an early Christmas celebration, I guess.
well, my kitchen got finally done today, but we still have no water. So the plumber's coming tomorrow
But
to
that's
do the
good.
plumbing. So I'm happy about that. If he can make it, not sliding. All right, we
Right.
have viewers. So let's get started with our topic tonight. Our topic is, what did you learn? Give us the top five things, or if you want to put it in the chat, give us two things that you learned in 2020. Tanika and I are going to share our top five. And one of the ones probably everybody knows already, or everybody has thought about already, or everybody is saying already. And that is, life is precious. In 2020, we've seen so many lives lost. And so that's one thing I think across the board, everybody has learned. Personally, you know, one of my classmates, I graduated from funeral service last year, and one of my classmates, 21 years old, baby, her boyfriend died, 21 years old, in a motorcycle accident. Then one of my personal clients, middle age, my age, died like a month ago. Her funeral was what's that Monday? Cyber Monday. Her funeral was Cyber Monday, and then, as some of you viewers know, my mom passed away right after Mother's Day in May. So those were three different age ranges that I saw just this year alone that passed away. So one of my takeaways from this year is life is precious. You never know what age range. It doesn't matter. It doesn't go in chronological order. You can die at any time. So, Nikki.
Yeah, I was going to expand on that on life in general. Let's not forget all of the celebrities that we've lost that were great influencers for many people, starting with Kobe Bryant. I think that he was mainly the main one that most people identified with, him and his daughter. I think because it was a double, it affected a lot of people. And, even
And that
up
was
to today.
pre-COVID.
Yes, pre-COVID. So I think that life is precious, and yeah, we all know that we need to be and take this thing seriously, you guys. Some people are like, well, it's not real. It's not real until it hits your household, your family, or your friends. So I'm just coming home from work, you guys, and we talk about this situation all the time. But we're going to get into point number one for me, T. My number one point was be grateful for all your blessings. you know, um, Even though COVID for a lot of us was very hard, we still were blessed in many ways. We're still here. We're still living and breathing. Some of us still have jobs. Even though I wasn't working, I just started this new job, but just be grateful for your blessings because it could be worse. I've seen a lot of pluses this year, even through COVID. I was able to get my daughter a wheelchair accessible vehicle. I was able to secure financing for that. And to be able to go from March to now and not miss a beat. I'm very grateful for my blessings to have a roof over my head, warmth, so we can't, negate that. We have to be grateful for all of our blessings.
And to piggyback off of that real quick, you're right, because even during this COVID, we were able to buy another home. And this is, we still have our house in Brooklyn. We haven't missed a beat. We haven't missed a payment. And like I said, we just got into our home, and I'm able to still have my business, physical business, because I know a lot of people went digital or virtual. And so I'm grateful to still be open as a salon. I feel so bad for my restaurant owners and, such like that, because they just keep losing out, and that's kind of
Mhm.
difficult. And I do, go ahead. I won't go on about that. Let's get on to point number
We got
2.
time, T. We got time. We got
We
time.
do.
That okay.
So being grateful, that is a good one. I did not put that one on my list. Um, I did put something I learned about myself in 2020, and this is a personal note.
Okay.
Shut it up. I am actually more sensitive than I thought I was.
In what way?
Uh, well, maybe not as sensitive, but like I don't like to hear business advice from non-business people. It just rattles my feathers, I think. So in that aspect, I feel like I'm a little sensitive.
Okay. Okay. I just shared out the post that we were live. That's all. Okay. Um, that's a good observation for yourself. If I was to say something about that, I think I'm more sensitive only because of the job that I'm in now. Everyone knows that I've been a special needs advocate, but since I work for this organization, it's even more apparent that, it's a great organization. They have a lot of great things going for them. But when we get down to the level, and T, I didn't tell you that me and my son Dwight, we was texting back and forth yesterday, and I was just telling him the importance of skincare and the different things that I see out there. So that makes me more sensitive about the future of healthcare. And on all levels, not only in the hospital, but on the outside as well, like home health, home PT, OT, speech therapy, because that's pretty much where healthcare is going to the house. So, yeah, went off on a tangent on that, y'all, but yeah. My number 2 was don't take anything for granted, like your health. Be grateful for your health. I know this year I started working out a little bit more, trying to be more mindful of my health and being strong and healthy, because that's the number one thing. You have to be strong and healthy and take care of yourself. It doesn't even matter about COVID right now. If you got the flu, if you got pneumonia, your body, if you strong and healthy, if you keep your lungs healthy and clean, you have a better chance of survival than if you're not trying to, work out, exercise, and stay in that regard. Be grateful for your home. Be grateful for your family, because a lot of times, a lot of people lost family this year. Be grateful for your friends and your job. Just don't take anything for granted, because what you complain about, somebody else is wishing that they had. So don't take it for granted.
Don't take it for granted. That also goes in line with what you already said as far as being grateful for what you
Hmm.
have. Don't
But
take
don't
it for
take it for
granted.
granted. Because we can take stuff for granted. Yeah, being
True.
grateful. Yeah, we could be grateful and still take stuff for granted. I'm
It's true.
grateful that I have the house, but I don't keep up the lawn. So you
Right.
just taking it for granted.
Right.
I'm grateful that I'm healthy today, but I'm going to eat these 6 apple pies.
Right.
I'm going to be gluttonous. So you can have it and be thankful. Yeah.
That
But
was me
then,
today. I just been nibbling on Chips Ahoy all day long. I ate one full sleeve. Ridiculous. So thanks for
uh-huh,
bringing that up.
uh-huh. Yeah, so it's 2 different things, even though they might go hand in hand. Did you see your comment there from
Yes.
LP?
Hey,
Um,
LP.
so yeah, so that was my number 2. What was
Okay.
your number 3?
My number 3 was being able to say no.
Okay.
Um, because I have the business, people just assume, and sometimes family members, they just ask, and they're not going to give it back. But I listened to what Grandpa said: don't lend more than you can give. So I always, when I give, I always make sure when I lend, I always make sure that it's not gonna affect me personally, that it's not gonna hurt me personally. Um, but it becomes a bit much when people just assume, and then you have people who will take without ever giving a regard for, oh, well, she has 3 kids, herself. So maybe I shouldn't ask this time, maybe I should lean back. But then whose fault is that? Mine. Because if I'm always giving, then they always can assume that they will get. So my next takeaway was say no. And I have to say no more often without
Okay.
feeling like it's going to be a problem. And if it's a problem, too bad.
Right. No is a complete sentence. But you're
I
talking
like that. I
financially.
like that. Let me
You
just marinate on that for a second.
okay.
I like that. No is a complete sentence. All right. I might have to put that up as a quote, Nikki. I might have to quote you there. Go
Okay.
ahead.
But you're talking financially, family burdening you. But you could
People will drain you for anything.
But I'm talking about time because people will waste your time. We're in the hair industry. People will ask you 1,000,001 questions and still not book an appointment. You're wasting my time. I mean, and time is valuable. So some people charge a consulting fee for that because, it's time. Now, I'll give you 10 minutes of my time. But then when you start going on and on and on, I don't have that type of time. Either you coming in so I could make an assessment or you making an appointment. Thank you. Perfect. But yeah, so don't let people waste your money. Don't make people waste your time, and don't let them waste your resources, hon. Because they'll do you know this or do you know someone that does that, and then they don't follow through. So time, money, and resources. We ain't got time to waste. Casting your pearls to swine.
Mhm.
So that was your point. My point was utilize your resources, your gifts, and your talents.
Let me
I've
tell you. Oh, that's a perfect one. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Many businesses I've seen opened up because they either got laid off from a job or they were downsized or the hours were cut back. And so they were able to use something that they had to make money, to find a way to make ends meet. And so many businesses opened up this year, even during COVID. So I was fascinated by that. Thanks, LP. But yeah, so, utilize your resources. And then another thing, even during this time, we've even done stuff. We opened up our online stores. We've written books. LP is an author now, so he's written a book. If y'all hadn't checked out, like Paul, he's on Amazon. You could buy his book there on Amazon. But there was a lot of different things, a lot of different takeaways that we could have used during this time, using your gifts and your talents. I know y'all can see my messy back here, but that's my daughter's knitting line. That's her line of knitwear that's going to be coming out in the spring. So I'm preparing for the spring right now.
Let me just kick into LP. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate that. Utilizing your resources. I was just talking to my sister-in-law tonight, and we were talking about utilizing our resources. Like she's known us for years, of course, obviously, and she's known that we've been in the game, several magazines, et cetera, et cetera. She knows you've been on TV, et
Let's
cetera.
pause there. Not just magazines, both nationally and internationally, both
Yes,
celebrity stylists as well,
yes.
licensed and educated. Keep going.
Well, thank you. I wasn't going down all of that, but
I
yes,
have to
yes.
go down the road.
Okay, okay. Make a toot toot. But yes, and we were talking about utilizing our resources because we do know people in higher positions or very high positions. Like you said, we know celebrities or B-list, C-list celebrities. We're not into the A-listers yet. But she was saying how she has, you know, clients that are millionaires and stuff, and she needed help with something. And someone told her, why don't you just ask? We get in such a place where we're like, no, we don't want to ask. We don't want to be a burden on anybody. We don't want to seem like we're begging anybody for anything. And our pride, let's say, maybe gets in the way, or the way we were brought up makes us not get in the way. And she's like, you know what? I am going to go ahead and ask. And because of that, She got, a TV spot. She's going to be on a podcast. So big up Niala, big up. We always, if you have the resources, use them. If you know someone who could get you the resources, use them. Right now, Tanika, we're planning for our 2021, and I'm going to be using my sister-in-law because she's good at what she does. And so why not use her if I can? And of course, we're not using her because we are paying her for her services. And I believe,
Yes.
don't be asking for no freebies. If this is
Okay.
what she does, this is her profession, you pay them. But
Yes.
yes, utilize what you have in your back pocket. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for commenting on that, LP. Appreciate that.
And really, y'all know I don't never really go Bible, y'all know me. But even when Moses was talking to God and he told him to use what was in his hand, which was the staff. And so use what's in your hand. What do you have? Because we all have something that we're good at. Now, we are not technological people. We're not good with all of that extra stuff. So that's not in my hand. But knitting, braiding, speaking, that's in my hand. Nursing, that's in my hand. So I'm going to use all that I can. And I do use my resources. If I have a client sitting in my chair, I'm always asking, what you do for a living? How can
Every
I,
client every client that comes into the salon, I ask, because they want to pick my brain. They want to pick me for business advice. I'm going to pick your brain. I asked one of my clients who's a nurse, I was like, what is good for me to prevent getting pneumonia? And I asked Cynthia last week on the show the same thing, so I'm going to use you. If it's something that I could use, and one of them was like, use zinc. I'm like, all right, I'm on it, because that's one thing that I do get repeatedly. I've never had the flu, thank God, but I've had pneumonia twice. So,
wow. And just another, hey, Alicia, that is one of my baby students. She's awesome. She did wonderfully. I know COVID took a long time for her to complete her program, but she's doing good. Her and her baby both had some injuries, and they're doing really, really well. And if not, I don't know if she's still making masks, but her and her mom were the first on a campaign making face masks back in March, for the COVID season. But it was something I was going to say. What were you talking about, T?
Use what's in your hands.
Using what's in your hands. No, we're moving on. Go ahead. Do your next one. Do your next point.
I'll pause on that still for a really quick second. When you say use what's in your hands, do you know how many businesses have started because of COVID? People are using what's in their hands, what's in their minds, and
Right.
this is not that series tonight. It's not that. But I just want to say, y'all are doing it. I'm looking, I'm seeing how many businesses are popping up. People are using their creativity. So use what's in your hands.
At that time, they have the time now. Before they were so bogged down with the weight of life and going to work and coming home. And,
Which brings me back to the power of no. People will suck your time, and this is time. Okay, you might sit on the phone for 2 hours when that's time that you could be producing something. I was talking to our sister-in-law, and I said, instead of my daughter being a consumer, she needs to be a producer. Why are you sitting there watching all of these TikToks instead of creating TikToks? I don't care that she's on TikTok. She's 14. But instead of just watching, be part of the action, Anyway, I'm going to go on now.
Okay.
Self-care. We need to have more self-care. And we don't, Tanika, I don't know the last time I had a massage. I love my massages, but
I hate massages. Nobody rubbing on me. Nobody rubbing on me. We're opposites when it comes to that.
Opposites.
Yes.
But self-care, even if it's not a massage, but I don't work out like I used to, it's always a reason why or an excuse, not taking the time for myself. Again, not saying no, but I'm doing much better now with that. But that's one thing I learned is I have to do more self-care. You give to everybody else, and then when you get home, you're just so tired, or you're bogged down, or you're snappy, or whatever, because you haven't taken the time for yourself. Yesterday, I had to run some errands. Actually, because we moved to Delaware, I went to the school to get the paperwork to register my kids for school. And after I did that, I was like, look, I ain't got no kids with me. I'm going to sit down and have me a lunch, peace and quiet before I go home. And that, for me, was my self-care for the day. And I think I took maybe an hour, and I
Mhm.
just woosah, you know,
Mhm.
and because of this
Yeah.
move, everything is like unpack, 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 put this up, put that away, put this, and it's always constantly moving. Oh, I got to get back to PA because I have clients this weekend. And so I never take the time to sit down. So self care. That was my
Yes.
point number four.
I think that self-care is a throw around word. A lot of people are using that word now, self-care, self-care. I've been better with my working out and drinking water. Everybody always has been on me about drinking water because, I'm a nurse and you should know better. And my self-care, it doesn't look like everyone else's because y'all know I have a daughter with special needs. So she takes time for me, but she gets self care. Well, a lot of care. Last night she had a charcoal mask. She gets her pedicures and everything like that. Now, my own self care, I do take time for peace and quiet. I like getting up early in the morning when it's really, really quiet. Now that I work and I travel a lot, I'm in my car a lot, but that's not really self care. When I do go out, I like to go out and eat alone, kind of like you. And some people think that that's a sad case, but it's not. I like me, so I don't mind being by myself.
I can always date myself. I can go to a
Yeah, because
movie by myself.
by myself, I have no problem with it because I ain't got to wait for you to meet me there or any of that. I'm good by myself.
Let me
So that's
just
self
speak
love.
up. I just want to put Tanya on blast real quick. She's one of
Okay.
my clients. She came by last week. Now she helps me a little with my Facebook stuff. And she's a marketer. She's in college, graduating from Rutgers for marketing. Am I
Congratulations.
gonna I will pick her brain while she's there. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I will offer to pay her and she'll say no, but it is what it is. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
give her a big ups because she's starting her business online, on the Hook Creations. That's the one I was
Right.
telling you about, on the
Okay. Okay.
Creations. Niala, thank you for joining us tonight. I have mentioned you several times in this broadcast um, because you are an inspiration. This is my sister-in-law, guys, that I was just mentioning several times on here. Her name is Niala. She is a marketing expert, and we will be utilizing her services.
And I just
And
want to say something on that. Hey, Niala. And we want to deal with her because there's a lot of people saying that they do, but they don't have the proof to show. And I know personally, I've spent too much money and too much time and too much energy wasted and not getting any results. And so if I could keep it in the family, that's what I want to do this go round.
all right, let me just correct myself. Yarn to Hook is the name of Tanya's
Okay.
business. Yarn to Hook.
Yarn to
I'm
hook.
gonna put
Okay.
that on there. If you want to drop your link in the comments below, drop your link in the comments below. We're all about sharing, business, businesses.
Okay. So you said your point. My next point was to be mindful of what you feed your mind. Be mindful of what you feed your mind because everybody's getting so sucked into the negativity of the COVID, of the election when it was going on, of everything. If you constantly watching the news, it really dampens your spirit and brings you down. So be careful what you feed your mind. I know I listen to a lot of positivity, whether it's inspirational stuff or motivational stuff or just easy listening jazz. Y'all know me. I love my jazz. I'm keeping it light and lively because I can't let the other energies suck me up into everything that's going on because you'll stay there if you let
Mm-hmm.
it.
Say that one more time. What was the point?
Be mindful of what you feed your mind. Be
Mindful
mindful.
of what you feed your mind. And again, I was talking to my sister-in-law, and we were talking about um, just different things tonight. And I was saying that I'm becoming more financially literate. And that takes a lot of reading of books. And, finances might, and you would think, oh, she's in business, this and that and the other. But some things you're strong at, other things you really want to sweep under the rug. But it's good to learn as much as you can. And even though I am not computer savvy, I'm still taking courses here and there so I can know the basics, the foundation. But you got to know what you know and what you want to learn, you have to read. You got to be mindful of what you put in your mind. You don't want to have a mind full of negativity and stuff like that. I
Or
must give
just
Yala a big up
people,
again. Say again. I want to
just
give
people
Niala
in your
another big
ear.
up because she has cancer this year, and that was something that could have set her back. But she still has um, a positive mindset
Outlook.
behind it. It's
Positive
amazing.
outlook,
Yes,
positive beliefs. Well, her belief in whatever it is, we say God, somebody else might say Buddha, whatever, but she has her foundation. So I think that that's great as well.
yes, and she says she has a good base.
Right. What's your next one?
My last one for the year, for tonight is we just talked about it. Learning new things. This whole time during this whole pandemic, I spent thousands of dollars learning, taking courses. You've taken a lot of courses as well, Tanika, but I've spent
hmm
thousands because I want to know, and knowledge is power. And when, Tanika, back to the whole reading thing, if you don't want to know something, it's always in a book. People put information in a book knowing that today we don't want to read. People just think that you're going to learn just by someone telling you. But if you want to know deeper, you better start reading the book. So that goes back into be careful of, your mindset, but learning new things. That was my last thing for this year. 2020 has taught me to learn new things, step out of my comfort zone. I was saying this to Niala on the flip side, because I do natural hair, so I'm not interested in the wigs, the weaves, the this, to that. Well, what happened? Now I'm in Delaware. I better learn how to do a weave, a wig, or this, or that. So you have to be willing to learn. You have to be flexible, and so 2020 has taught me to be flexible and
That's my
to learn
point,
new
Tisha.
things.
That was my point. My point number 5 was be flexible, learn to adapt. Right now, people are fussing because of the remote learning. Oh, I got to be home with my kids. Well, now you get to see how your demon child is for real, for real. They don't get the work done at school. The teacher ain't lying. So you have to be flexible. You have to adapt to the new environment. Like now you're making appointments online. You're not even going to see your doctor. The doctor's setting up a Zoom link to meet with you. Even when my daughter had a skin issue and I had to show them on camera what it was, um, just it wasn't her regular doctor. Otherwise, I would have just said, "Hey, whatever, this is what I need." But so that is different. Not being able to go out and do the things, just different things. Learning how to be adaptable, flexible. Like I always say, I don't put anything in ink for me because of my daughter. So I have to be flexible. And hi, Renee. It's great to see you. So that was my last point of being flexible and learning how to adapt to new situations. Um, Y'all already know I'm not going to say it no more. I'm not really technical, but I do learn just the basics, just enough to get by, just to have the knowledge. So, someone don't get over on me, but, I don't have the in-depth. And I personally feel it. This is going to sound bad, y'all, but for me, it's just a waste of my time to even try to learn it for real, when I could pay somebody else that know how to do it. It's like, why should I suffer and cause myself agony
I like
when I
that.
could
I
just
like that.
pay
Why should I
somebody?
suffer?
Yeah, I could pay somebody that's going to get it done quicker, that's going to get it done more professional than my little crappy Canva stuff that I'm trying to do. And you still say that looks like a kindergartner did it. No, no,
I mean,
no.
that's the realness right there. That's the
Well,
realness.
I'm sorry. That it is what it is. This is Tanika Gillar. I am naturally yours.
And this is Tisha McDonald, Alternatives Beauty Studio. We want to say thank you for joining us tonight. We are talking about the 5 things we learned individually or together during 2020. And actually, most of our things were opposite each other. We only had one thing that we had alike, I believe.
Well, it was a lot of lessons in 2020, and don't put off till 2021. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, when next year gets here, why not start right now?
That's Tamika. You see, Tanya?
I see ya. I see ya.
Ah, wait, and then Renee piggyback.
Okay.
Thank you,
Hey,
ladies. But yes, it's true. Like I will say, I will pay you for your service because I'm going to pay you for what I don't know. Like last week, we were at the salon and I had one of my college students. She came in to take pictures of grandma's hats so I can put them online to sell. Like I don't know nothing about Facebook Marketplace, and I'm not trying to set up an Etsy account or none of that. So why not let one of my young kids, my college students, do it? I pay her as a consultant. It still falls under Alternatives Beauty Studio. Come on, we're talking business. And okay, this is not the site for that right now. This is not what we're talking about, but it all relates to business. And so I
right.
just
You
say,
can't try to hold it all to yourself. Why not share the wealth with
share the
someone
wealth.
that's
You
their
didn't even want
job?
the money. I'm like, no, I'm going to pay you as a consultant. I want you to get paid to do this for me. I don't want people to work for free. I always teach my kids, don't work for free. You think when Michael comes to the salon to mop, he's doing it for free because it's his mother's salon? Heck no, I better be whipping out at least $20 for him to mop that small salon. you
That's a
know,
lot of money.
I'm just saying. Oh, he don't play. When it's time for
Uh,
him to clean my car, you think he's cleaning up the car for free? And some would say, well, that's like a chore. But I'm like, no, he didn't make that whole mess by himself. So, I don't care.
I
I
agree
pay.
because
I'll
I
never work
can't
for free.
I can't talk about you because I pay Cordell to watch my daughter sometimes, so I can't talk bad about you.
Thank
But
you. I
anyway, you
appreciate
guys, thank you for joining the Twinness tonight. And if you're catching the replay, drop us a line and just say hey. We will be back with you guys on Sunday, 3 o'clock Central Standard, Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock Central, so 2 o'clock Alabama time, 3 o'clock Delaware time.
And one more time, one more thing that you said about why wait until next year. That was one of the things I wanted to say, even though our points are finished. Yes, why wait? We still have what, 10 more days left of 2020. You can get started on some things before the first of the year. I don't like to wait till the first of the year personally, only because that's everybody's standard. I like to either do it way after the first or before the first, but never on the first.
Right.
Because I know that's not real for me. So
Mm-hmm,
me taking all these classes and learning, these are all before 2021. Because when
mm-hmm.
I get into 2021, I want to be into my groove for
Right,
2021. And
right.
we have so many things planned for 2021 that why put yourself behind the eight ball for January 1st? No,
Mm-hmm,
this planning behind the scenes comes before the time. Are you
right.
planning your 2021, guys? You need to be planning your 2021 if you haven't started already. I know I have started, my sister has started, we have started together, and we're having a meeting, and it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, guys. So I want to thank you once again. Thank you again for coming in and chilling with us tonight and having just a light spirited conversation um, about the 5 things that we learned opposite each other. And just to recap, I learned that life is precious. I learned that, I'm more sensitive than I thought that I was when it comes to people talking to me about business. I really don't want to hear your opinion if you're not business minded. I have to be able to say no. And I learned tonight that no is a complete sentence. Um, Self care, and everybody talks about self care, but are you practicing it? And learning new things. Those are my 5 points.
My 5 points was to be grateful for all your blessings. Everyone, be grateful for all your blessings. And don't take anything for granted was my second one, because you can have your blessings, but still take them for granted. My third one was to utilize your resources, your gifts, and your talents. Many businesses was open using what you already had that was already God given. Be mindful Number 4 was be mindful of what you feed your mind. So be careful of the things that's surrounding you, the energies that's flowing, the negative comments from people or from television, radio. And then my last one was to be flexible and learn to adapt because we're in a new time, and we all have to adapt together. So be patient with yourself and with others as we transition during this time.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm getting off, but I just wanted to point out Renee. Renee makes we were talking about using your hands. Renee has been making my oils and my soaps for years, almost since I opened the salon. Renee is my person who makes my products. And I want to say thank you, Renee. Renee been in the game for years, years and years. So many years. I met her, she was already doing this, but she wasn't making oils for hair. And that was my challenge for her. And she stepped into the challenge. She still makes my hair oils. And Renee, since I know you're watching, this is a sidebar. I'm going to look at a space on Sunday for a salon for Delaware. Okay, good night, guys. I will talk to you later. See you on Sunday. You're welcome, Tanya. You're welcome. Oh, thank you,
Oh.
Renee. That's what it's about. All business. Good night.